So on this live video, I'm just going to do pick your pile. Take a moment, friend, and ask Spirit, the God of your understanding, your higher self, your angels, whoever you pray to, get quiet and ask your intuition which pile is the right pile for you. Is it 1? Is it 2? Or is it 3? So is it 1, 2, or 3, guys? Feel free to drop it into the comments and let me know which one you're choosing. Sometimes it's fun to listen to all of the messages to see which ones you didn't pick, you know? And then you know that your intuition was on point because you know why you didn't pick it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Well, I thank you guys for joining in with me. If you don't know who I am, my name is Heidi. I'm in California in America. I'm a psychic medium. I love doing card readings for you guys. I'm offering free card readings right here on this live video. So pick your pile, 1, 2, or 3. I am aligned with love and light and God, and I'm here of service of the greatest and highest good of all of you guys. So thank you for allowing me to be of service in this way for you. I'm going to go ahead and jump in with number 1. And if you're new to me or new to my page, feel free to follow my page so that you don't miss anything from me. Okay. So number 1, your cards clearly indicate that you may have a little bit of an inner critic, right? A dialogue inside of yourself that might not be so healthy. You may have some fears or doubts inside of yourself, or have some worthiness issues, some self-worth issues. That's what I feel here. With the cards that you have. So I'll just show them all to you. There's no secrets here. There's no secrets here. Number 1, these are your cards, and I'll tell you exactly how I come across this information. Okay, so you've got the 6 of Intention, playing it safe. She is playing it safe right there inside of that garden, and she misses the show of fireworks here in the distance behind her just because she's not looking in the right direction. Right? She's missing all the wonderful beauty that life has to offer because she's focused in other ways, in other areas. And in fact, she looks bored. She looks like she wishes she was somewhere else, right? She just doesn't know where or how to get there, or think it's even appropriate or okay for her to do that. Now, this Queen of Wands that you have tells you that all the power and all the control is in your hand, number 1. You have the ability to do any damn thing you want with your life, with your time, with your money, with your focused efforts, right? And whatever you do gets you a return of sorts as you put your efforts there, right? So Spirit is suggesting that you stop playing it safe, okay, and start taking yourself very seriously, okay? You have the ability to inspire greatness and to be great yourself. I feel like greatness is imminent, okay? But not as long as you're sitting in the safety of your own comfort zone, all right? Spirit wants you to get serious about your processes and your focused intention around the things that you're doing and why you're doing that, for what reasons, and how it adds to the quality of your life, number 1. Now, the next card that you have here is poking holes. This speaks about being depleted and beaten down by life or by other people, all right? And so much so that, again, we can lose the ability to believe much in ourselves, okay? So maybe you had a parent or a spouse or a friend who talked down to you, right? Who made you feel less than, you know, at a certain time in your life. Maybe you're still kind of building yourself back up. It takes so much time. Some wounds are so deep that they're hard to recover from. Okay, so I can see how, number 1, might feel like they just need to play it safe because they're still recovering from wounds that we don't see, you know, or maybe they just don't want to accidentally stumble upon that kind of happening again in the future, right? But your life is of your own making, and your energy is of your own design and choosing. And Spirit is encouraging you to shake up your energy with activation, things that excite you, the power that you know you do have, not the things or the people who have beaten you down or broken you down in the past. And it comes back to that belief system. All right, I feel like those are the voices that you hear in your head. I'm not good enough. Why? Because, well, remember, Mom always used to say that. I'm not a good enough person or a good enough parent or a good enough spouse, partner, wife, because some narcissist in my life has beaten me down and broken me down and given me the misinformation that this is so, and it is not. I want to say this right now to number 1, all right? You are an amazing individual, and this is you finding that within yourself without the validation of other people who aren't able to validate this for you. Okay, that's why you've been looking and trying to receive, and you can't have it, and you haven't gotten it, and you just feel smaller by design because you're still trying. Okay, and this may have been a long time ago, or it may have been yesterday. It might still be happening. Spirit suggests that you Be the biggest support and believer of your own self, your own mission. You know your life. You know who you are. You know what you're about and what you're made of. And it's time that you start advocating for yourself and believing in this, okay? I am one sexy ass bitch. Number one, this is your affirmation with attitude, okay? To believe in yourself, to reinforce your own self-confidence, all right? And to be who you are in the face of or in spite of people of the past or even of the now who have not believed in you to the degree of which you would have liked, right? But without their support, you can still rise and thrive and achieve success. And I must say to you, that'll probably just make them more mad, okay? It won't get you the approval, you know? Sometimes people can tuck their tails and come back afterwards and say, okay, I'm sorry for the way I treated you now that you're, successful or whatever, right? But a lot of times they won't. They'll be like, fuck you and your success. I'm never saying sorry. I'm not wrong. And why? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they think or how they feel. What matters is what you think and how you feel about yourself. And those things feel so unjust and at odds with you because they don't resonate with the truth of who you really are, number one. So let that be your saving grace. And let others have their own thing, and you continue to believe in yourself and rise. That inner critic, who does it remind you of? It's up to you to shut it down, okay? It has no place. That's what I have for you. Number one, rise and believe in yourself. Others too shall follow, but you're the one who sets that tone. So set the tone. Number two, all of a sudden I got a headache. Number two, have you had a headache or are you battling something like that? Because my head is just a pounding. Suddenly I'm in your energy. My head is a pounding and this is just crazy. I'm going to show you your cards. Dark thoughts. Dark thoughts feel like pain in the headspace to me. Okay. And probably to you too. Hello. Let's talk about your headaches. Any dark thoughts accompanying those? Fears and doubts and worries and anxiety and different places that our head goes, or things that are stored there that we're not ready to let go of. I feel like there's some clean out, some shadow work for those who might be drawn to number two. All right, so check it out. Sometimes we store pockets of information within our psyche so that it can protect us later because now we know, or we can't put it down because somehow it's like a badge of honor that protects us or something. And Spirit is saying like those kinds of things we don't need to keep alive or active. We don't need to keep in the headspace. If you're finding your head is going back to some kind of things, to start writing those experiences down and get them out of the headspace and into the tangible and burn the paper, shred the paper, get rid of the paper, tear it up into a million pieces and throw it away and get rid of it, whatever, to remove this from your energetic patterns. Okay. I feel like, sometimes it doesn't feel like such a choice, that monkey mind, and the headspace. So give it a direction, all right? And tell it to spell it all out right there for you on a piece of paper so that you can give it its moment and it can have its time to work its way through and out of this need to keep coming back to you. That's what I feel here. Okay, so I feel also the fear for making the wrong decisions. Okay, this can cause you to make the decision to freeze and procrastinate and make no decision at all and screw yourself, and miss any windows of opportunity that might be open and then shut. Okay, so number two, these dark thoughts are some things that I feel you can combat in the appropriate way that is right for you, but it's not as simple as just stop. Just stop having them. Stop doing it. Okay. It's kind of like, I feel some of you who have drawn to pick pile number two here, kind of like, I don't even know why I keep going back to this in my head. I don't even know why my head keeps doing this, or I keep kind of feeling down, or whatever the case is here. I feel it. You may not know why, but it's because it's present and it wants its moment. So give it to it on purpose and within your own control and discipline. So sit with that and spell it out, write it out, feel it, whatever, even if it doesn't seem to make sense. Okay, so listen. I'm getting a seriously out there message, but if you're someone who watches me for any length of time, you might be kind of out there as well. So I feel like some of the programming, the systems that are running within the physical vessel and body might be so outdated that they are corrupting, if you will. Okay, so some of whatever you're writing out or expressing, I'm feeling light language or some of doodling, this kind of thing, it may not make sense. It may not be words that make sense. It might be words, but in order they don't make sense, you know? You're just kind of siphoning something through that is not cohesive to some up-leveling that you are achieving within your system, okay, and your programming. So I really hope that you're following me if you were drawn to pick number 2, that whatever you're releasing might not make sense on paper. Do you hear me? But it's a jumble of dissonant energetic code that needs to be released and removed so that you can continue up-leveling on the path that you're on. It's like a system update is what I feel. Now, I also always want to remind you, anytime you release, such as this kind of thing I'm talking about, scribbling things out on a paper, throwing the paper away, right? If you can't verbalize whatever this is, okay, that's enough. That's a tangible, actionable effort towards the cause of what you're doing here, and that scribble represents so much. It represents the release of all that, okay? Even if you can't say it or vocalize it or put it into words, all right? Or put it into a cohesive, coherent image, all right? This matters, okay? So removing that leaves this space, this available space in your auric field, in your activated patterns, in your energy, okay? So you've got to replace it with God energy or source energy or high vibe energy or love energy on purpose, okay? Please God, just say a little prayer to whoever it is that you understand, because that is who shows up for you and your quiet, silent prayers, okay? Hey God, I just let go of some stuff. Could you please bring in the light? Could you please bring in the love? Could you please fill me with divine source energy, whatever's of the highest vibrational frequency that I need for my soul's unique path and mission. Please God, do this for me. And thank you God for doing this for me. And breathe that energy in and allow that to settle in with you. I really feel like displacing some of this outdated programming is what's necessary here. And it's going to help you. I already feel the headache kind of dissipating, but it still wants to come back. And the human me that it is me kind of wants to have it back a little bit. So I come back to you again about those badges of honor. I'll never forget this thing that happened to me, because to forget is to what? To lose some form of power, but it's not. But it's not. To hold on to it is causing you to lose some of your power. I hope you can understand this. So you do have these dark thoughts here, number 2. But then you also have the King of Pentacles, hello, telling you that you're a master, you've got this, don't worry, okay? You're the one who puts food on the table, you're the one who makes your life go around. If you decided to do something, it freaking happens, you know? Even if you have fears, even if you have doubts, even if it's a little scary or it's outside of your comfort zone, right? You're the one who has gotten you to the place of independence where you are today, the place of luxury, stability. This King of Pentacles is a person who is a master of the physical, the financial, the tangible. So you've paid attention to some of these things, but maybe not all of these things, and Spirit is encouraging you to begin honoring the things that you need to pay a little more attention to. I feel like that dark cloud of dark thoughts might have to do with some of the poorer health choices that you have made. Okay, and Spirit is saying, then make better choices and you'll be just fine. And yeah, it's hard. It is freaking hard. But anything worth having is hard, right? Okay, now that's not a belief that needs to sink in. Our beliefs can really trigger the kind of reality that we have, and then we say, oh, well, if anything worth having is hard to achieve, then we're never going to have stuff that is easy. Okay, so let's negate that right in this moment. Spirit is correcting me and correcting you, because that's how easy it can happen. Let's not believe in that. Let's believe that life can be easy. It is easy in the flow of God's grace. Everything is in divine will. We're the ones who create resistance. So Spirit is saying to remove anything that feels like resistance to you, because you are the master who knows your life the best. Your money, your health, your physical surroundings and standings. This is someone in the comfort of their own retirement because they've done what they needed to do, and now they're allowed to relax. They're allowed to receive. They're allowed to be blessed with peace, all right? Because they've earned it. Now also showing up for you is the new coat. What else is there for me? This isn't the last level of the game. This isn't the epitome of all you're ever going to get in life. This isn't all that's left for you, and yeah, you've arrived and that's it and that's all it's ever going to be. Bullshit. This is an infinite universe, and God has abundance for you in many, many ways. All right? And it's in many ways. I need you to know that you may have arrived in a couple respects, but you're not done. Okay? Spirit wants you to continue stretching and growing. And how are you going to know what is the right path for you? By trusting in your body. By trusting in your gut. You're to a place of mastery where you already know what's right for you, but unfortunately it's tough to say no, right, to other people. All right, so this new code, I really feel how this is you deciding what's right for you and what's not right for you and what's worth your time, and discarding what's not worth your time, your effort, your energy. You're grown. You've earned your right to say no. All right, you've earned your right to say yes. You've earned your right not to ask for permission, not to care what anyone thinks about anything at all, but how it activates your life and how it makes you feel. All right, that's what I have for you here. And your card says, my energy is magnetic as fuck. And that's true. Very true. With the law of attraction, like attracts like, and we resonate on a certain frequency. Sometimes those frequencies are more challenging, and that's what we want to weed out of your experience so that you don't attract in experiences that validate this kind of an energy. Okay? When we combat the dark thoughts, put them away, begin to be more mindful in the headspace and say, I'm not listening to the inner critic. He eventually shuts up. Believe it or not, that inner critic that wants to talk down to you can be tamed. It can be disciplined. Eventually, that mind will quiet, but not as long as you're giving it the fuel to keep alive, the attention to keep it going. And back there again, these things that we hold like a badge of armor, the things that we come back to in the headspace, whether we need to or not, you have the power and the control to become more disciplined in the headspace, or you would not have the challenge in front of you. It's called a practice for a reason, because you just got to keep practicing at it and getting better at it with intention. I'm not going to follow the headspace. And we say, oh, I'm not going to. And then we find ourselves there. Holy smokes, I've been in this darn headspace for 30 minutes or an hour or however long. Or maybe I've just kicked myself inside and said, how stupid am I for forgetting this or that, whatever. I'm smart. I'm smart. I'm smart. I'm not stupid at all. I'm very, very smart. I'm very, very smart. We've got to advocate for ourselves. We've got to be in alignment with ourselves. I feel like these dark, intrusive thoughts are things that, you have to begin pulling away from. Don't give them the time of day. Don't follow them down that rabbit hole, okay? These are threads of thought you don't have to follow. And when you realize that you are, pull away, back away, negate them, especially if you're talking on yourself down inside, because your body listens to you. This is a serious message, guys. Listen, we're on that mastery of physical body. Your body listens to your thoughts. So if we're on the inside saying, God, I'm so fat. Every time I put food in my mouth, I gain 5 pounds. You bet your butt your body is trying to jump in line and make that happen for you. I'm fat. I gain weight every time food comes in the mouth. So your body starts bulking up to match what the inner dialogue is saying about it. So no more of this. And I'm just being realistic, friends. The body listens when we say, stupid old body, always in pain, gonna give out on me. You're predicting it. You're walking yourself right into it. You're setting yourself up because the body listens. The body listens and takes note and checks it off. Stupid body, in pain, check. Let's make some pain. We have pain. We're expecting pain. Let's make some pain. All these different things are gonna go out on me, check. Okay, so let's watch that inner dialogue. And let's remove those kinds of predictions that are self-sabotaging. Talk ourselves into that wellness. And I see someone who's saying it's media that is the intrusive, dark cloud that comes to settle into the beautiful life. So that means when you recognize that something is affecting you adversely, pull away and try something different instead. Maybe the media that you're absorbing is not right for you. Maybe a different channel, maybe a different viewpoint, maybe none at all. Maybe getting a newspaper and thumbing through certain areas of that would be better than just relying on media that is online or on TV, in which the whole trend is to activate you, right? I keep you activated and keep you drawn in, and then I'm gonna push all your buttons so you're keeping on and watching me, right? That's how they keep us, and they show us all the things that are gonna get us heightened up about the causes that are important to those who show us this information. So does it truly affect your life? Does it impact you on a personal level? Spirit asking you to call yourself into a personal level, find out what's impacting you, and to remove what's not working, and to be bold and try different things. Try new things loosely to see what works, and if it's working, keep it as long as it continues working. Number 2, that's what I have for you. All right. I'm about to jump in with number 3, and holy smokes, what a serious reading you have. You didn't wait for no good reason at all. You are definitely worth the wait here. So number 3, I can see that there's some serious energies going on in your life, major happenings, big stuff. I don't even have a major arcana. I can just feel it. Like, whoa. I can feel the major happenings that are going on in your life, number 3. And I want you to know that sometimes the outer world greatly lets us down, because we're supposed to turn within, rely on ourselves, reclaim or cultivate our own independence and the individual and unique connection that we have with God, source, divine, okay, creator. A lot of times that's when we fall on God, right? When something happens out here, it's not right, we go within, we turn to God. And I feel like that is something that may have happened to you recently here, number 3. So I'll show you all of your cards too, since I showed everyone else. We ain't got no secrets here. We ain't got no secrets here. If only my hands were bigger, I wouldn't throw your deception on the ground. Look, it does not want to be exposed. Deception, hello. That is someone who's talking crap about somebody else behind their back, or even right there in front of them. You know what I mean? Just disrespect, gossip, lies, sneakiness, poor manners, bad behavior. All right? But I want to say to you, number 3, like, whose table do you want to sit at, man? Do you want to sit with those motherfuckers? I feel like, whoop, look, I'm going to drop something now. We're kicking things over, because hell no, we don't. We're going to topple this, bitch. We don't want to go sit with no people like, why do we seek the approval of narcissists, of people who abuse us, of people who are liars, cheaters, stealers, gossipers, assholes, backstabbers, right? Why do we wish for peace? Maybe because we don't want to be a targeted victim. Right? I'm sure you've heard of the trauma responses, you know, fight or flight, you know. So some people, like, they fight off their attacker, like, I'll fight you right now. If something went down, I wouldn't have to think about it. I would jump into this fight mode, right? Are you one of those people? I really doubt it. I know. I really doubt it. Kicking the table over, right? I don't think that you're a fight, right? Maybe you are a flight, right? Fight or flight. Maybe you run rather than, you know, you don't think about it, but when stuff's going down, I'm out of here, man. I gotta go, you know. preserve my energy or whatever, right? But maybe you're a freeze. Maybe you shut down and blank out and don't know what to do, you know. Maybe you're that, or maybe you're a fawn. That's what I feel here, is that someone is expecting you to fawn. And fawning in this respect is, I'm going to befriend you, I'm going to play nice so that you don't get angry enough to harm me, to punish me, to bring the consequences toward whatever, right? I feel like someone is expecting you, if you were drawn to pick pile number 3, someone is expecting you to bend to their will in an effort to avoid greater drama. Okay? That's really what I feel here. And I want to say to you that it's just like if someone were extorting a person, like what's to say this doesn't happen again? This is only the first of many ways in which they might attempt to bend you to their will through a show of force or manipulation. Okay, I really feel how, and this might be seriously insidious deception for some who are drawn to pick number 3. You may not even know that this is someone who's talking about you behind your back. That hurts my heart. It really does. Okay, you may not even realize or know. I know you know, because when you feel weird, you feel weird for a reason. All right, but look, it's this feeling like, oh no, Aunt Helen would never. right? I feel, no, that person would never, right? For some people, not all people, I see some people like, hell yeah, I know who that motherfucker is. I know who it is. But then there are others who are like, I don't want to believe that so-and-so would be that kind of person to do such a thing, right? And that's how we learn our lessons hard. Because we don't want to believe that somebody else is capable of something that we would not do to them. Right? We don't want to believe that someone else is capable of such a thing, but in fact, we learn the hard way that they are. And it's tough to want to admit that. Okay? You're watching me. You have an intuition. All right? It speaks to you for a reason about what's really going on here. And then we go, oh, God, shush, I don't know. Of course not. Of course not. Or maybe other people say, oh, of course not. Of course not. And we say, oh, I'd rather believe your pretty words than this gut feeling that tells me something is way off. All right. Your gut feeling is speaking volumes. All right. Your gut feeling is not to be hushed, or it's going to keep getting louder, and the experiences in your outer environment to highlight that fact to you will continue to get more painful. Okay, so recognizing that right away, not being afraid to call a spade, and for God's sakes, believe that some people are just mean. You are probably a kind-hearted, good-natured individual, and you go, how could somebody? But there is somebody who definitely could, and maybe right under your nose or right behind your back. And I'm sorry to say it that way, but Spirit really wants you to trust on your own inner knowing and not the voices of other people, because voices can be very deceitful. So this Four of Pentacles is about you moving on, packing up your precious energy from this kind of bullshit. Hello, this kind of crappy energy, number 3. And then here's you turning your face away, grabbing what's most precious to you here, clutching your bag. Okay, all I've got is my purse, and you know what? I'll be fucking fine. Everything else is replaceable, right? I've got my body, I've got my purse, and everything else is replaceable. That's what I really feel here. Sometimes we want to save face. Sometimes we want to win in a situation where there is no winning. All right, winning is removing yourself and focusing elsewhere. That is winning, because if you continue to focus here, you're fueling their whole intention, and it's keeping it going, right? So then they win because they've got you all wrapped up. And even when you're not with them, you're thinking about them. It's ruining your day and your mojo, and that's them winning. So don't let them win. Turn your face away. Close your eyes. Be blind to their bullshit. Be blind to their pain. I feel like they may bring you pain. Oh, I'm so sad. Or I have all these grief. Or I have these issues. Please help me. Please help me. And that is just one more manipulation tactic. I feel like you could literally go down a list and go, okay, what's the next crisis or the next tactic that you're going to bring to me to try to get something, a rise out of me, a reaction, a response, something else, because truly you're the one who has all the power. So they're the ones who are like, I feel like throwing down these all these efforts to try to make something happen, because they're not standing with the righteousness of truth. They are not standing with God in the same ways that you are. And God is saying, my child, turn your face away from all of that darkness. It was never for you. That's why it's caused so much pain. And here you have the opportunity to radically shift and change things with the fork in the road. Now, this fork in the road might be a window of opportunity that is presented, that opens and shuts. Or it may be a way of living that you can begin to embody now that will really shift and change things for you. A higher way, a detached way, recognizing that none of that makes or breaks you. It doesn't have to affect you at all. In fact, what you have going on is what is the most important thing in your life. And if it's not that, make it something that is meaningful for yourself, that'll overshadow any of this. And I'll tell you, this might continue, but it'll be out of your awareness. It won't even matter. So this fork in the road, I need to talk about it, okay? Because it could be, this speaks of moving, okay? If somebody's thinking about moving away from a crappy situation, or even switching jobs where you feel that there's some kind of poorer habits happening there, this really speaks to not just wishing and praying, but actually embodying and shifting and stepping into the change that you have been desiring for so long. Okay, so start downsizing now. What realistically needs to happen? What do I really need to take with me? Do I need to pack up this 3-bedroom house, or am I good with my necessary staples as I move into the next phase of my life? Okay, kind of making these kinds of decisions. This also says, if you're looking for another job, put in that notice. You know what I mean? You don't have to burn bridges, all right, to get ahead. You don't have to F you, this or that. Some may want to sneak away quietly, as this would cause some big giant fight. But heck, if it's going to be a big giant fight, let it be a big giant fight. And then you can move right along with it guilt-free, right? But I feel like that hasn't happened yet. Because this person knows how to string you along with just the right little crumbs so that you stay wound up. And you never feel truly liberated to walk away, but you never feel truly in alignment to thrive, right? I really feel how it's a game. It's a game of how far can I push you without you pushing back or leaving me. Okay, this is really odd. I hope you're understanding this here. So this fork in the road is about you taking your chess piece off of their game board and reclaiming your own power fiercely, in a real radical way. Like, I feel some who are really thinking about swinging the other way or shaving off all their hair, right? I feel these radical changes are not necessary. You want to do that because you want the energy to change so greatly, but that is not in alignment with who you are inside. You're just trying to shake all of this off. Okay, so don't make any permanent lasting decisions based on temporary feelings that you may be having. I feel like, yeah, wanting to harm the other person by sleeping with people that they know, etc., etc. Like, all of that only speaks to your quality of character. And is that the kind of person that you are? Are you the kind of person who hurts people? No, but you've probably been hurt many times, and you're probably tired of it, right? It's only going to hurt you more than it would ever hurt them to step outside of your character and overlooking your moral compass. So focus on you, what's most important to you, buckling down there and moving into this state of being of your own choosing. This fork in the road is about you pulling away, stepping away once and for all. I'm done with that shit. I'm done with all this shit. I don't play your games anymore. I'm removing myself, even if that means I need to live temporarily with a friend, or maybe have no job in the meanwhile. You know, whatever this step down that I perceive might be in the stepping away from this negative energy, okay? That step down is only you putting your money where your mouth is and saying, I'd rather have less than toxic. And then God steps in and says, not you, my child. You will have more. And from there, who even knows where you're going to grow? Now, your affirmation number 3 is, fuck today, try again tomorrow. Fuck today, try again tomorrow. And you know, I just really feel like dusting yourself off and trying again, but in new ways, because trying that same old thing is going to get you those same old results. And listening to voices of negativity is not going to get you anywhere. Those voices are reflecting what they themselves hear. Okay? Like, I feel like they are speaking to their own insecurities, their own unwillingness to change, their own inability to grow or achieve success within themselves. And they put that on you because it's easier to put it on a mirror than to own it within oneself, right? That's what I have for you, number 3. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I do thank you guys. I'm wishing you guys all the best. And if you wanted to connect with me privately, you can message my page directly and see what's available. Until the next one, I send you guys all the love, all the blessings. If you're not subscribed to my page, what the heck are you doing? Right down here in the corner. Right down in the corner. Feel free to subscribe down here in the corner. All right, guys, sending you all the love.